Good morning, guys. I just went to pick up a package and I was lucky. The guy had just shut the door. I didn't even know about the opening and closing times, but he had just shut the door. But then I knocked on it and he was like, "What you need?" "Oh, I got a package to pick up." And he opened up. Let's go. I'm pretty sure this is the araldite, the strong glue I'm gonna use for the fuse holders. So yeah, once I got that shit built, I'm gonna try and get that done today. I'll be ready for going over to my cousin and finishing this fucking electrical system, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be nice. I want to get some eggs. Guys, I got a ton of chocolate milk for sale. Look at this fucking shit. I needed to go check this out. It looks so dumb. What? That's funny. That's funny. Rest in peace. Very relatable. It's the hearse. Alright guys, I went out shopping. I'm just gonna boil some more water. Put it up in the tea. It's cold now. So I got some eggs, some milk, some tea, some sugar, some cream fraiche, the pepper cream fraiche that I've been kind of holding off on getting. But my friend brought these sweet potatoes the other day. I have this, and then my other friend brought the snap bread, whatever you call it, crisp bread. So basically I have every single ingredient for something that's very nostalgic to me. I'm gonna have that later today, I think. But for now, I want eggs. I want cold chocolate milk from the freezer. Because I had to put the chocolate milk here when I went shopping for the other things. Check this out, guys. My friend Yes, who was here, left some stuff behind, like this pesto, some avocados, spinach, and yeah, I'm just gonna add the eggs here, some avocado, some ketchup. I know I'm a degenerate. I need ketchup for eggs. It's gonna be delicious, man. I'm ready. Guys, this is so good. So healthy. Alright, check it out, guys. I made this little cardboard mold fitted for this fuse block holder that I made. Now I just gotta fill it up with araldite, this 2-part epoxy. This stuff right here. I'm using this baking paper, parchment paper, whatever you call it, because the araldite, the epoxy, it's going to make this this baking sheet stick to the bottom of this. I'm basically trying to make a hard bottom for this, like a solid bottom. So I'm gonna fill this up with a couple of milliliters, just so it covers, you know, a very shallow level, all the way in the square. And then I'm gonna submerge this and let it harden. And then afterwards I'll use sandpaper to remove the bits of cardboard and parchment that's gonna stick to the sides and the bottom. Okay guys, this didn't go ideally. The internal part kind of fucked up, and I need to save about half of this to adhere this stuff to the metal box that it's gonna reside in. So I just hope this stuff doesn't congeal and harden. I think they have to mix together before that can happen, so I'm just gonna put this in a Ziploc and hope it stays for about a week or two. And this just has to harden for a few hours now, I imagine. Also, this thing, it was way too difficult to squeeze it out of, so I just removed it and manually mixed it together with the tip of this thing. Let's hope everything goes right. I need this to go right. I had some extra araldite to spare, so I've done something to the wheel. Before I just installed these little nubs with super glue, and they kept breaking off when I was parking it and stuff when I hit these knobs. But now I fixed them there with araldite, 2-part epoxy. 4 here on the front has a parking stand. Another 4 on the back just to avoid damage in case of a crash. I know this thing is probably gonna snap off in case of a crash, but I'm just trying to do my best to protect the body here, the shell. And it's good because they actually clear past the extrusion of the front light here. Before, when I was parking it on just these two, it also ended up leaning on this part, which means if I were to crash, this would have smashed directly into the ground, and now it's more protected. My trolley handle has arrived. Not to this town. I gotta go over to where Kiki lives because the estimated shipping date was quite late, and so I figured it's probably better to order it for over there. So once all the things have arrived to Kiki's address that I've ordered, I'm just gonna go over there and pick it all up at once. Guys, I made a mistake. A couple days ago, I think it was on Thursday, I wrote my ex. I was with her for 5 years. I haven't been with her for the past 2.5, and you know, I just keep thinking about her all the time, and I just kind of want to put an end to this chapter of my life. So I wrote her a message asking if we couldn't meet, please. I haven't gotten any response, but I can see she's received the message. So I sent her another today explaining to her that I'm gonna be in this location on this day. I'll be waiting, you know. I hope she shows up, but I don't expect it. I've been making tomato soup, Heinz tomato soup from scratch. You just take some flour and some butter, and then you make a roux, you know, melt the butter, add the flour slowly, and then at some point when it starts congealing together, when it's not liquid anymore, then instead of adding water or milk, which you typically do for a opbagt sauce, which we call it in Denmark, a gravy essentially. Instead of adding milk or water, I just added one of these glasses of, let me see, yeah. Just added one of these glasses, 680 grams of just pure tomato, what do you call it, puree, or tomate frito. I don't know what it's called actually in English, but basically just tomato sauce, marinara maybe. And then for spices, I added 1 full tablespoon of sugar. I added probably a little less than that in salt, and then I ground some pepper in there as well, some of the fresh pepper. I also added some of this powdered pepper, probably a teaspoon or so combined, and then about a tablespoon worth of oregano, and just a knife's edge worth of cayenne pepper. Really not that much. I mean, less than the size of a pea. Probably half the size of a pea, to be accurate. I'm telling you guys, it's amazing. Now, instead of doing what my mom always did when I was a kid, which is gonna make it impossible to reheat it in a way that's delicious, I just made roughly how much pasta I'm gonna need. And then I'm just gonna add the pasta and a bit of this to a plate instead of adding the pasta into this. That's just a lot better, because then you can put this in the fridge and you can reheat it. It's not gonna have the pasta soak up all the juice. But yeah, food's ready. I'm gonna eat. I'm just waiting for Stony to get online. And yeah, I got an update on my last package. Should arrive at the latest in 4 or 5 days, which is perfect because I have 2 packages waiting in the town Kiki's from a female friend of mine. If you're not a long time subscriber, um, but yeah, I told her about getting evicted. She told me I could stay with her for a while. I'm not sure how long, honestly. And so I'm just gonna pick up my packages from there, maybe stay a day or two. So on the 17th, midday or in the evening or something, I'm gonna head over to her and stay there for a day or two. Of course, I have to go over there in like 4 days or so, and I'll be able to bring some of her stuff because she has a bunch of stuff stored in the bedroom where Mike died. I don't use that room, I just use it for storage for her and the Loud Friends stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna bring some of her stuff over there when I go to pick up my packages. But yeah, I think that's about it for an update right now. I guess one thing I've done that I haven't really shown is one of these other days. I figured out a way to pack my tent even smarter. I just took it out of the packaging, attached the tent poles to the side of the backpack, and I put the inner and outer tent inside of here, inside of the top compartment, top zipper, and then the bottom zipper. Well, I got garbage bags in there, but like when you zip this top one open, there's an extra room in there where I put the stakes. I've been able to shed, I don't know how much weight that is. Let's see here. I've been able to shed this thing. Less than 100 grams, I'm sure. But I've also been able to shed this thing from the sleeping bag. And even... Oh, I guess I can't find that now. But there was also a little bag for the towel that I got, the little microfiber towel for showering. So yeah, I'm not gonna bring the packaging because it's just a waste of space, and honestly, things pack down more efficiently when you just squeeze them into the backpack rather than having it be a solid shape. So I still keep optimizing my backpack, how it's packed. It's great to do this stuff before you leave. Because I remember when on day one, my backpack was overpacked. I had another one at the time. I just sold it the other day. Like the day before yesterday, I think. But yeah, that backpack, it was completely packed. I had my jacket hanging out of that thing. It was just... it wasn't proper. And over the course of a few months, I was able to liberate maybe like 20 to 30% of the total volume in that backpack by just packing everything more efficiently. And that was despite me getting more equipment. So yeah, things are moving along. But I'm gonna eat now, guys. See ya. You know me, guys, I'm really anti-waste, and I had an avocado from this morning. I'm just gonna add it in here. This stuff is so healthy. It's a little oxidized, but it doesn't ruin the taste. Well, itadakimasu. Guys, I am watching anime with Stony. We're finishing this one up, and I finished this thing, or it finished curing to the point where I could chip off the stuff that had gone too far up the fuse blocks. Like some of it had crept all the way up to where you put in the wires. So I just kind of had to chip those parts off. And now I'm just kind of cleaning it off. But yeah, this thing is solid now. This thing is never coming apart. And this material is able to handle multiple thousands of volts. So there's absolutely no potential of interference between these. And they're rated to be mounted this close to each other on a DIN rail, which means it's perfectly fine to have them glued together as well. Maybe not for the purposes of ventilation, like heat ventilation, but there are heat vents both here and here. So even if the one on the side is covered, only this one is exposed, should still be fine. Now I basically just gotta throw in the fuses in here. And with how I've set up the system, I don't imagine I'll ever have to exchange a fuse. It's also going to be a bit of a bother having to, because I'm going to heat shrink the entire device. I'm going to be using these, that I'm going to be installing this into. So I'd have to remove all the heat shrink, but let's hope I never end up blowing a fuse. I'm going to be thoroughly testing it when I build it in I don't know, in a week or two. I'm going to my cousin's place. I'm not exactly sure when. And then I'm going to finish up the electrical project, guys. Let's cross my fingers that, and your fingers too, that the electric unicycle won't burn down from me having done something wrong. But nah, I'm going to double, triple, quadruple check everything. I'm not going to make the same mistake I made with that little component that I burned up in the morning. Yeah, just gonna watch some anime. It's a pretty good one. Well, it is actually kind of trash. Yeah, let me see what it's called. It's called "And You Thought There Is Never a Girl Online?" question mark. It's just one of them, well, what do you even call it? Kind of slice of life, after school activities club. And of course, a harem, right? It's just a single guy surrounded by girls, of course. But this one is different because it seems potentially only two of them are in love with him, whereas typically it's all of them, right? But yeah, I'm just finishing the show up with Stony. I've been enjoying watching anime a bit lately. Guys, I knew I should have done this earlier, but I just prepared some more of this 2-part epoxy. Why? To attach this thing right here to my helmet. This is what I used to have on the front of my electric unicycle. I just removed this thing right here that was used to wrap it around the front handle. And then I cut off this part with a hot knife because I don't have my Dremel tool right here. I put it back to my cousin's place in Copenhagen. But yeah, I'll be able to attach. Oh yeah, and this thing swivels, so I can like swivel it this way or this way to adjust the angle of this light right here. And it is pretty damn strong, this light, you know, quite some range on that light. This is gonna be great. Basically, it's gonna follow my POV anytime I'm riding. And I can always angle it a little down or a little up, depending on what I need. Or just detach the light altogether. I'm probably gonna buy a few spare lights of this model. In the future, I'm also gonna get some better cells. The biggest problem with the cells in here, it's an 18650 cell. The biggest problem is the capacity. This is a roughly 2100 milliamp hour capacity, and you can get them up to like 3600 milliamp hours, which is almost twice the battery. Of course, right now I have it on the brightest setting, I think. Yeah. So you can save some battery by not running it in the brightest setting. But that's what I prefer, running it at the brightest setting. I mounted it on the right side of the helmet, because that way I'm not going to be blinding oncoming traffic if I'm looking at them. The helmet is going to somewhat obscure the light, especially when they're passing me. I took that into consideration. I would have placed this further back on the helmet to further shield oncoming drivers, but the issue is the angle. It basically had to be right there in order to work out. I'm gonna go back to Stony, hang out some more. We watched some of my old videos from another channel earlier. It was kind of strange for me. It's like watching someone who sounds like you and has the same experience as you up to a certain point, but they just fundamentally believe in different stuff. Or maybe they just have a different way of expressing it. It was strange to listen to myself, because I have not listened to those videos since I made them back in 2023. Man, I was miserable back then. But funny thing, even back in those videos, I was talking about rollable solar panels and all that shit. Like, this plan is this plan, I've been thinking it up for quite a while now. I guess ever since 2020 when I started living outdoors with my ex. But yeah, plan has definitely become a lot more fleshed out. Back in that video we watched, I was talking about getting a van or a box truck or some shit like that. Like, dude, even if I had all the money to pay cash for the van or the box truck, I would not be able to afford that shit. You gotta pay all kinds of insurance, all kinds of shit here in Denmark. And also, there's a prospect of potentially getting fines for whatever. There's a bunch of things you can get fines for. So I haven't abandoned the van slash box truck idea, but for me, it's more like a retirement plan. Like, once my knees buckle and I can't handle electric unicycles, I mean, the next one I'm getting is most definitely gonna have suspension. Not even because I want that, just because all new models have that. But yeah, that should help my knees survive for a bit longer. But once my knees get sufficiently bad or my backpack starts feeling too heavy, I'm sure I'm gonna lighten the load in that thing over time, upgrading stuff and letting go of stuff. But eventually, I imagine age is gonna take a toll on me, and I'm gonna have to settle down in a van or a box truck that I build out myself with a shower, bathroom, um, like a kitchen, um, big queen size bed and stuff. I already know what I want. Like, I already made 3D designs of what the internal space would look like. But even that, I'm sure I'll be able to iterate in the decades until I finally. Well, maybe it won't be that many decades. Damn, I'm getting old. But in any case, for now, I'm just gonna do it the young man's way. I'm gonna just one wheel, one backpack, one Negro, uh, determined to secede from modern infrastructure and responsibility. Yeah. Check out what I've done, guys. I removed the little alarm thing from underneath this broken trolley handle. I'm gonna get a replacement any day now. Actually, it already arrived. I just gotta pick it up. It's in Kiki City. I took the alarm and I put it over here on the side where it's not gonna be in the way. I opened it up too, found out it runs on AAA batteries, so it'll be easy to replace those with a single, what do you call it, a single battery from disposable vape. I like using those because 3 AAAs in series at 100% charge is going to be 4.5 volts, and a lithium ion battery is going to be 4.2 volts, so essentially perfect. And it holds a lot larger of a charge than these. I can even put a few of them in series if I wanted to, or sorry, not in series, in parallel. Oh yeah, I never actually noticed this, but you can see the motherboard lighting up through the somewhat translucent plastic here. Huh, I never noticed. Well, I put some of that baby padding that people use for their electric unicycles. I cut some little bits out and attached them with double-sided tape, which I also used for this one. The nubs, however, they're attached with araldite epoxy. But these things I put on the end so it doesn't make so much noise when I put it down. And it's a little more stable, I feel like. These squish down quite a bit. I'm pretty happy. And then soon I'm gonna get a new trolley. I'll be able to retract it fully. And I mean, I guess I could do some detailing because the guy who had this before me, he had tried waterproofing what is already waterproof. I need to get some extra screws here for the top part because they're kind of lacking screws. I only got one in each side here on the front. It's not really a big deal though. But yeah, I should do that just for the extra waterproofing. But with how the plastic is made, I'm not even concerned. Like, there should be no water ingress there whatsoever. Oh yeah, and I put some of those knobs on the back as well. Not that I really need them. Maybe the two top ones to spare it from a lot of damage, but the bottom ones, they don't really do anything. It's just in case I lose this thing, then I can park it both ways. And also, I'll have a bit more space in my in the box for my my carry case for the fast charger. I was keeping those nubs in there. Oh, back to hanging out with Stony. I got hungry and my avocados are getting old, so I put some avocado on my egg rye bread food. It's basically 6 o'clock in the morning, and me and Stony are watching the China show, an old tradition of ours. We used to watch this every week, basically, with few exceptions, and we haven't been able to because I can't share my screen, and he couldn't really share his screen either. We were having some issues, but now we can finally resume our tradition. But yeah, I think that's gonna be good night for me, guys. I'm probably not gonna go to bed anytime soon, but I imagine I'm just gonna be hanging with Stony for the rest of the until I go to bed eventually.